Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Lucas, and this is Doing the Deal. And we are back at you finally after way too long of a break with an update on our hydroponic basement garden here up in New England. We are predominantly growing broccoli right now. And I think at this moment in time, it's going really well. We have had some issues, and I'll go over those here in just a minute. But first, we had a really rough end of winter transition into spring around here. We had two pretty gnarly snowstorms that knocked out power for our town and the surrounding area in both occasions, which is definitely not beneficial for this. We do have alternate means of transportation, or not transportation, but of generate electricity, but every time it kicks on, I just kind of cringe a little bit. So over the course of these two storms, we probably ended up running on our generator for 80 plus hours or so. But with that being said, one of the issues we have had as our transition, when that happens, we shut off these lights. It just is what it is. I cringe when we're without power. Got to skim somewhere, these lights get kicked off. So we might be a little stunted in our broccoli and things of that nature. I'll see if I can get a video up here of one of the storms. But it was my second winter up here in New England. The first was fantastic and romantic. The second one kicked our ass and took our name, which is why we have been a little late on the video uploading. In addition to losing power, it's just a mess outside. So my to-do list got really, really large. And then, as anybody knows who has kids and plays travel baseball, travel sport of any kind, that stuff is a massive time commitment. So because of these couple of things in conjunction, we haven't had much time to get down here and take a look at this stuff, other than just trying to make sure everything keeps kicking and keeps staying alive. So for those of you that have been along for the beginning of our epic journey of hydroponic gardening exploration, I appreciate you guys, like thumbs up. So that's dope. But now back to the matter at hand. We are growing broccoli. I believe in one of my previous videos, I said we were growing a variety that we previously had grown outside in the desert in Arizona called Green Magic. The variety we're actually growing is called Eastern Magic, so I'm assuming it's along the same lines. One of the things I should have done in terms of choosing a broccoli to grow is something that does well in a hotter temperature, that's all. I've been finding it a little tricky to keep the temperature low enough to stop these from bolting. I've got one over here that already started to bolt, which is fine because it was way ahead of the other ones in terms of growth. And so we kind of use that as our indicator to kind of like change some things. So at this moment in time, we've got the lights up really high. We have an 8-hour on and the rest off, with a 30-minute sunrise in and a 30-minute sunset out. Before we put all the broccoli in here, we cleaned all our hydroton, our bags, rinsed out all the lines, did a full water change, all that fun, fancy jazz. With the power doing what it did, not having the ability to run the lights. I mean, we did, we just chose not to. We still ran the water and stuff of that nature, all right? So that's that. In order to try to combat the temperature, we got the fans cranking and running. We got the exhaust fan cranking it. I don't know, it runs all the time. I need to really get an auto one for this up here. They are very useful. As well as a money saver in terms of electricity. This manual one, I just run it all the time. We've got the lights up. We've got our settings set at about 65% on the Spider Farmer automatic light timer. Our water, we try to keep our pH in between 7 and 8. We try to keep our parts per million under 1,000, and we don't let our USM get too high. To keep our numbers down, we'll do half water changes, or just top it off and retest and go from there. So haven't had any issues with the watering. From time to time, we do need to take the bags out, clean up the broccoli on the underside, the roots, so that we can still get a proper flow and flood and then drain. So with that being said, let's go ahead, take a peek at the broccoli and see how it's all going from there. All right guys, here we are. We do have a couple of things other than broccoli, which I'll show you. We've got one Brussels sprout, as well as some peppers, but with our lights being at the amount of time they are and things of this nature, they're a little slow on the uptake. I do know for a fact, we put 2 broccolis in each of these nodes. I won't do that again. We'll put one right smack dab in the middle and hopefully get bigger heads. Either way, the goal is to harvest our heads and then harvest our secondary shoots before we clean them out and rotate something else. Here's our one right here. We'll go take a closer look that started to bolt on us. So right now we're sitting at right over here, 45% relative humidity and 72 degrees, which is good because we've got the temperature coming down. Cayenne pepper, a couple of other miscellaneous peppers that aren't doing the greatest, but they're coming along. This bad dude's doing all right. See if we can get something. The broccoli looks great. Smells great. Smells like broccoli. Looks like broccoli. Here's our one right here that you can see. Right? I think in the beginning we may have been running our lights too long, which is just my fault. I've never grown broccoli inside. Predominantly, I've only done it outside. So which is why we have 8 hours now for our deal. 2 dead nodes. We did lose broccoli with our light power issues. Here's our one Brussels sprout that I thought was done, but we left it and it's working its way back. So we're probably gonna cut this off, but if anything, it was a good indicator that we did not have our environment correct. But we can see we've got heads starting to form on a majority of these. Like I said, you can see, you probably get 2 decent sized heads. I think the ultimate goal would to get a head that would just be as big as this node right here would be the ultimate goal. So next round, because we will do it again, 1 broccoli per deal, and we'll go from there. But they all look pretty good, right? Not too bad. We keep adjusting the lights, trying to get our temperature colder. I think we're gonna have to. Our overnight lows they're not too crazy low, but they are low enough for us to keep our window open in the basement. Also, a question I got for you guys. I got all these Spider Farmer 6-inch fans, 8-inch fans, 6-inch fans, and they're really great. But I got a couple issues with a couple of them. They just don't rotate anymore. So if anybody out there uses these or knows of an issue with these, like, that'd be fantastic because they're normally pretty good. Got this one cranking. We got that one cranking right there. So yeah, overall still very pleased. I think it can be better. So I think we're gonna continue chugging away and getting after it. So without any further ado, let's flip it around and get some final thoughts. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys tuning in, checking out what we got cooking down here in our New England basement hydroponic garden. I do apologize for the lengthiness between videos. Hopefully we can get a little bit better with that as the summer progresses. Our goal for what we have going on right now is to continue to try to dial in our environment so that we can harvest some nice healthy broccoli. We went hard on the broccoli because my kids eat broccoli, so we'll get them and eat them as they come. If they come in bunches, we'll blanch them and we'll freeze them and we'll eat them as we deem fit. I like Brussels sprouts, so that's for me, and we'll go from there. Hopefully we can get some nice big tasty heads. We can get them harvested and we can get some secondary shoots for a nice little smaller harvest before we switch over to back to peppers, because I got to grow some more peppers. We need some more dried pepper seasoning. We need some more hot sauce. I think we're going to ferment them this time. So like always, I appreciate you guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, advice, they are always welcome. Post them down below. I'll get back to you as fast as I possibly can. If you like what you like, please hit that thumbs up button. And if you're interested in continuing along this epic journey of indoor hydroponic gardening down in our New England basement, please hit that subscribe button. Like always, I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.